Hello, I'm Mark,
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
and today we're going to talk about the BBB and how it affects you. But first, we're going to roll those title credits. Go ahead, Casey.
Biggest, baddest, most beautifulest, and then a whole bunch of B adjectives. I get them. Here we go.
You're watching the TTL Express.
Of course, Casey was explaining the BBBBBBB. We're not talking about that today. We're only going for 3 Bs.
Well, I mean, when you change it from a bill to a law, you can't call it the bill anymore. So,
Right. That's why it was the one big beautiful act. Trying to compete with all my F's in the future free from fossil fuels.
That's right. Yeah, they're catching on. Yeah, so this bill, which was passed recently, has some negative effects for possible new EV owners. And I, of course, wanted to defer to the experts who are actually living in the country and will have to deal with this bill going forward. But some of the negative effects that we've seen early is that the federal credit of $7,500 has been slashed and will disappear September 30th. The credit for buying a used EV, that $4,000, it will also be disappearing on the 30th. There's a few other smaller things rolled in there that affect EVs. Not seeing anything as related to an annual fee from the federal government. Who knows? But it's not there in plain language.
Right. It's not there as far as I know. It was taken out, and ironically, not because they thought it was a bad idea, which it was or is, but because there was no logistical method to collect the money. Because it would have to be collected by the states, and the state departments of environmental equality don't normally make payments back to the federal government, and so that was just killed by its own logistics.
Killed by accounting. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Yes. But we've now got a situation where we've got this hard deadline of September 30th coming up, 2025, where this is going to disappear. And I wanted to put out to Casey and Patrick is, what do you guys think about people that have been on the fence about an EV, or they're getting close to making a decision? What is someone to do? Are they to rush in and get their car ordered so they can receive it before the 7,500 disappears, or the 4,000 if it's used, or is there another plan? Will prices go down after a while again because maybe lack of EV sales? Is there going to be downward pressure on pricing? Who knows? What do you guys think about this situation?
So I did want to kind of apologize for giving people false confidence there. We did receive that from the IRS saying, hey, things are settled. We're good to the end of the year. And then I did caution that even though things were looking good, that these people do find a way to get money back, that it should be settled. And they did, unfortunately, last minute. So you must accept delivery of your vehicle by the 30th of September. And same with the used cars. I believe that the leasing program, since it's basically just an override on the same thing, same expiration date. This also applies to stuff like your home batteries, home solar, the energy efficiency credits for like switching to induction or switching to a heat pump instead of methane in your house. So, I mean. I did say that this might come, but it looked like we were out of the woods by this point. Unfortunately, I do apologize for giving people a chance to breathe when I should have been pushing on them. So if you need this money to buy the car and it's in your budget to buy the car or the green equipment for the house, do it before the money is gone. But at the same time, don't stretch too hard. Yes, it will get more expensive, but as Mark said, we've seen whether these expire in the past. Sometimes they adjust, other times they just sit there for a long time at the newer, higher price. The other thing to look at, which bit me already, look at your state before you do your energy efficiency. I didn't have a choice because stuff was just broken. But I was like, oh, okay, this won't hurt so bad, only to find out that, yes, it will. Because the state that had to install all the stuff in for the house, they made it more strict to qualify. I don't know if they were trying to discourage it or if they were trying to get better results. And so I got the induction, I got the HVAC, the heat pump, and they don't count for jack. So
So you're just out of pocket for all that.
yeah. So check
Ouch.
your local situation before you commit. Like if you can make that stove last a little bit longer and the new one doesn't qualify, there you go. If you were looking at your heat pump, you might have to step it up a trim or 3 to qualify. And so for me, it was like spend $12,000 more on a different heat pump to get $2,000 back. It's like, yeah,
That's bad math. Yeah.
it was terrible math.
Mhm.
The heat pump itself was already going to do some magic over the gas, so there's that. But the same thing goes with your car. So on the used cars, obviously you can't call the used car factory up and be like, I need a new one with a green with less scratches. But on the new car, you're going to take a longer look and see what that does. But if you're ready now, and that will make a difference, think of it like you got an $8,000 coupon, basically. On the used cars, it's the same thing. If you see one that qualifies and you were ready now and you've got it, you got up to a $4,000 coupon right now. That will be gone 2 months.
Patrick, what are you thinking?
Well, I've got a lot of thoughts. First, the September 30th is a ridiculous time for this. Bill was just signed on July 4th.
Yeah.
And so for the incentive to end that soon after is ridiculous. It should have been the end of the year,
Like it was before.
or a phase out over the next 2 years, which would have made a whole lot more sense. Instead of just one day it's there, the next day it's gone. The way it went before, it went down in phases.
Right. That's what they did last time. And the dealerships were asking, can we at least have that? Because now you've just messed with all of our projections.
Exactly. And especially if the IRS rules are already in place for it for this calendar year. So there's no reason it should have changed mid-calendar year.
Yeah, so now your IRS staff has to come up with it. And these were gas car dealers that were asking to keep it. So
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Especially when they're doing, it's not the tax rebate. It's now at the point of sale, which is much more convenient. You don't have to come out of pocket and then wait until you do your taxes to get the money back. So they really should have worked with the dealers and listened to them and phased it out. And it's also one of the nice things is we know that EVs are going to win. Things like this can delay that here or there. When we talked about the old prediction model I had, I said, oh, look, adoption is actually a little ahead of my prediction. But things like this are going to bring it right back in line. But it doesn't change the inevitability of EVs winning.
Right.
It's just throwing up obstacles because the fossil fuel industry is highly profitable, which means they can put a lot of money into politics, which helps ensure that they get the policies they want, which makes them profitable, which allows them to put more money back into politics. And it's a vicious, ugly spiral that we're politically captured in, and especially the current party that's in power. So, but it doesn't mean the other party's free from it either. So it's horrible. But one of the things that we know is that the vehicle that is the best one is going to win. The one that is cheapest to fuel, the one that's the most convenient to use. And when you can just plug in your garage, cell phones, you don't have to take those to some fueling station every week, right? You just plug them in when you can and they work. And that's the way that cars are going to be, especially now that we're getting the infrastructure in place. It's taken a decade to get a significant amount of it out there, but it's there now. So it's inevitable, and this is just clinging to the past, and the Luddites trying to get their last hurrah, and that's fine. But
I have to go every Sunday down to the corner store to get some recharge on my phone and some minutes, and get them from a special person who who has the special codes to make those numbers go up for me?
Yeah, do they still want ice blocks delivered and a milkman? I don't know. I don't know how far back they want to go.
But the thing here is well, I'm telling you to look at the numbers. The folks that are implementing these whiplash changes at the last minute are not the most successful in their endeavors with money. So they've in each of the swings they've caught the people they want to help and the people they want to hurt on both ends of the waveform. So when I tell you to do the math and see if it makes sense to go now, at the same time where if you come up and you say, oh yeah, I can run gas for another year, can you?
Yeah.
Right now,
prices are highly volatile. You don't want to be at the whim of whatever Straits of Hormuz are having some conflict. You know what's funny? We talked about how one of the things we do on the show, as regular viewers would know, is we talk about what Tesla's annual production is going to be, and we have our guessing game for it. And so for next quarter, I had them relatively flat, which was about 410,000. But now with this happening, we know that people are going to buy at the end of the quarter more. So because if they were going to buy in Q4, well, why wouldn't you buy just a month earlier and get $7,500? So that's going to bump up my Q3 number probably about 10,000. So now it's 420.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Of course. That's my Q3 number, 420.
We've seen that time and again here in the States. We've seen it repeatedly recently in Canada, and we saw it in Norway. So like as the incentives come to an end, those people who were procrastinating or those people who were saving at the last minute and now have to,
do the Tesla stretch.
Yeah, do the stretch. That's going to happen. So there is that for the numbers, but then what's that going to do to the next quarter?
Yeah. Well, we know what's predictable for the next quarter, but I guess it's good advice for the people that are watching us now that are on the fence is look over both sides. Do your homework at this point. As Casey mentioned, look at your state, look at incentives, look at what's available to you to buy. Make your decision early because as Patrick mentioned, there is going to be a bit of a rush to September 30th. So get involved with this now, make your decision, and then work towards the goal because you don't want to miss this by a week or two. That would be a painful lesson to learn. We're telling you right now that now you have to act. You have to make the decision. You have to do the homework. And now it's time to move. So start doing it and don't procrastinate if you want one because you'd hate to miss this just past September 30th.
Yeah, and don't forget in September is when they start having the weather that could affect your deliveries. You don't want to be sitting there with a September 30th delivery date for them to tell you the truck is delayed. You're going to receive it at 12:01 on October 1st, or you've ordered the HVAC system and now it was supposed to be installed the last week of September, and now it's not getting installed until the 25th of October. In both of those cases, you will have already paid a significant fee, if not half or all of it, only to find out that now you gotta come out some more than you were planning to.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Tesla has been in this situation before. They under the old program, they used 200,000 and then went into the phase out, and so they're going to be fine. They're going to continue to sell vehicles. I'm less optimistic about some of the legacy automakers because they're already not selling a high volume. They're not selling them profitably, and so this is really going to hurt them. So Ford and GM, this is really going to cause a big delay in their products. I think Kia, Hyundai will be fine. Their vehicles have been selling pretty well. They've got some good products there.
Factory in Georgia now. So this was this was not an EV mandate, not in this country anyway. and now there definitely isn't. So that's gone. This was just an incentive to help you do what you saw was coming down the road, and so now that incentive is gone. Uh, this was not something that swayed Mr. Musk any one way or another, because
Mm-hmm.
years ago he was trying to make sure that everybody, not just Tesla and everybody else, didn't have it, but there was no oil subsidies. He was trying for a flat field, but he's a bit of an idealist sometimes. And
Yes.
and this is also not something that he was like carving around while he was doing his other um, surprises. That was again, it was something that could have gone either way on him, and he was not trying to have an impact on that. His reaction was to other items, the most recent reactions.
Here's one point that I haven't heard mentioned in the media that I think is important.
Mhm.
So the way that this incentive was structured was that it had this increasing amount of North American content requirement
Yes.
to apply to qualify for the incentive, and that was bringing manufacturing of cells and other things on the continent.
Yeah, we
And
talked about the LFP cells from Tesla.
exactly. Right. So things like that, that's jobs. And now, if there's no incentive, why build a factory in Georgia or Nevada or wherever? Because I can just import cars from where I already make them and sell them at the same price as everybody else, because there's no incentive, and it's not like I don't qualify. I think it was
all stick. We got rid of the carrot, but it's all stick. So
exactly.
you don't build your batteries or your cars here in the States. Not only will you still have the fees or whatever that might have been attached to this thing, now you've got to face tariffs, and then we're gonna send an army of people after you about how it doesn't have an American flag in the door sill.
Right, because there were some EV manufacturers, so they were making some here that qualified, and they were importing some that didn't qualify. For the ones that didn't qualify, they had to mark the price down $7,500, or they couldn't move them because the car right next to it made in the U.S. was cheaper. And so that was good for the consumer and good for jobs in country. And now it's
now you've got a number of manufacturers that are questioning, okay, what's the future plan? Because everything just changed in 6 months. What's going to happen in 3.5 years? Do we have to do it again? They're going to sit on the sidelines because they cannot plan their future by 4-year government terms, because it takes basically 4 years to build a factory. So guess what? You can't get into a build, get it just completed, and a new administration says the rules have changed again.
Yeah, because even if you rush it, you're looking at 2 or 3 years, and then you've got to spool it up, and then as you're spooling it, the rules have changed again.
Yeah.
Right. Businesses hate uncertainty, and what we're seeing is chaos.
Yeah, and so do you spend $8 billion on a new factory, or do you wait and see what happens next? And then worse, you're told this is a guarantee, blah 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 blah, and then you go and you respond to it, and you're left holding a flaming bag on your doorstep. And
flaming bag. On that note, let's turn it to
end it. Yes.
This is the high point of the show right there. Let's turn it around for our audience and ask them, what do you guys think about this? Do you have any plans? Are you going to move or not move? What's your thought about moving or not moving? What should people do? Put it in the comments. Let us know. We'd like to hear them and see if there's some other ideas out there besides our own. It would be nice and refreshing for us to read those. So please do so. And let's wrap it up. Let's start with Patrick. What do you got for shoutouts?
As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels. Thanks.
Very good. Casey, what do you got?
Well, you can catch us live on Wednesday over at the Tesla Live Show. And if I were to come into some walking around money, I would probably go ahead and jump on this personally. So
Very good, very good. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. Thanks, Lee Moon, for the music we use every week. And if you want to follow us through the week, you can follow us on our X account at The Tesla Life, and we look forward to seeing you there as well. Thank you. Till next time, when we'll find out what's happening in the Tesla Life.
Lasers! It's happening!